Breaking news out of Los Angeles, and this one is nothing short of explosive for Lakers Nation. The NBA world is buzzing with a trade rumor so massive, so wild, that it almost feels impossible. But insiders insist it's a real scenario being discussed. Imagine the Lakers, a franchise built on superstar power, actually trading away LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time, in a shocking 5-team blockbuster deal. And in return, they bring in none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo, the $175 million megastar, to join Luka Doncic in purple and gold. Let that sink in for a second. The face of the franchise for the past 6 years possibly leaving Los Angeles, while one of the most dominant players in the league arrives to form what could instantly become the most dangerous duo in basketball. For a team that has always thrived on generational superstars, from Magic and Kareem to Shaq and Kobe to LeBron and Anthony Davis, this kind of move would once again redefine the identity of the Lakers and perhaps swing the entire balance of power in the NBA. But what exactly does this deal look like, and why is it sparking so much conversation? Let's break it down step by step. According to NBA insider Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report, this trade would involve not just 2 teams, but 5 different franchises working together to make the pieces fit. In this proposed scenario, the Dallas Mavericks would be the team to acquire LeBron James, reuniting him with Kyrie Irving while also adding Bronny James, Andre Jackson Jr., Tyler Smith, and Drew Timm for depth. The Lakers, meanwhile, would secure Giannis Antetokounmpo from Milwaukee, alongside Olivier Maxence Prosper, Tyrese Martin, and a pair of trade exceptions totaling $6 million. The Bucks, Raptors, and Nets would also be involved, with Milwaukee picking up players like R.J. Barrett, P.J. Washington, and Caleb Martin, plus a massive haul of draft picks and swaps stretching all the way to 2032. Toronto would walk away with Daniel Gafford and a trade exception, while Brooklyn would collect Dalton Knecht, Jaden Hardy, and Dwight Powell. At first glance, this seems like a complex web of moving pieces, but the key takeaway is clear. The Lakers would sacrifice nearly all of their draft flexibility for the next decade in exchange for Giannis, but crucially, they wouldn't have to give up Austin Reeves, the rising guard who has become a fan favorite. That detail alone makes this pitch even more fascinating. Pincus explained that any deal involving LeBron would require his direct approval, given his no-trade clause. However, at 40 years old, LeBron's trade value isn't as high as it once was, which limits how much teams are willing to give up. That's why this particular framework makes sense. It gives Dallas a win-now superstar to pair with Kyrie, helps Milwaukee reset with a mix of players and picks, and allows the Lakers to reload with a younger megastar in Giannis, while still holding on to Reeves. For the Lakers, the risk is enormous. Giving up control of so many future draft picks means their flexibility would be nearly gone for years. But when has this franchise ever been about playing it safe? This is the same team that traded for Kareem, traded for Shaq, brought in Pau Gasol, went all in for Anthony Davis, and signed LeBron James in the first place. The Lakers' history is built on bold moves that deliver championships, and the idea of Doncic and Giannis teaming up at Crypto.com Arena is exactly the kind of gamble that could define the next era of Lakers basketball. Now let's talk about that potential pairing, because it's the stuff of nightmares for opposing defenses. Luka Doncic, arguably the best offensive creator in the NBA, alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo, the most dominant inside force of his generation. Luka's elite playmaking and scoring ability would unlock Giannis in ways we've never seen before. Imagine Doncic running a high pick and roll with Giannis diving to the rim, with shooters like Austin Reeves spotting up on the perimeter. Defenses would have no answers. Historically, the Lakers have always been at their best when anchored by a dominant big man. Think Kareem, Shaq, and even Anthony Davis during the 2020 championship run. Giannis would not only continue that tradition, but elevate it to a whole new level by combining his two-way dominance with Doncic's brilliance. The thought of these two megastars leading the Lakers is enough to send chills down the spine of every Western Conference rival. But just as fans were starting to dream about that super team scenario, reality delivered a gut punch that reminded everyone how fragile this sport can be. Because over the weekend, Lakers Nation was thrown into panic mode when Luka Doncic suffered an injury scare during a friendly game with Slovenia against Latvia. The superstar collided with a teammate, limped off the court, and headed straight to the locker room. In that moment, social media exploded with fear and frustration. Fans posted comments like, "The Lakers never get a day of peace," and "What terrible luck, just when we need him the most." While the Slovenian national team hasn't released official details yet, the sight of Doncic limping off was enough to put the entire fan base on edge. After all, this is the player the Lakers have invested their entire future in. Just weeks ago, Doncic signed a 3-year, $160 million extension with Los Angeles, locking him in as the centerpiece of the franchise. Alongside a 40-year-old LeBron James, who exercised his player option to stay one more season, Doncic is the foundation of the Lakers' hopes for another championship run. That's why this injury scare feels so devastating, because everything hinges on his health. Financially, the Lakers are all in. The franchise will spend over $194 million on player salaries this season, which is a staggering $58.5 million above the NBA's salary cap of $154.6 million. Counting free agent rights, that number balloons to over $213 million. Leading the payroll is LeBron James at $52.6 million, followed by Doncic at $46 million, Rui Hachimura at $18.2 million, and Austin Reeves at $14 million. The front office also added reinforcements like DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, and Marcus Smart, each on short-term deals designed to keep flexibility alive while upgrading the roster. Ayton, signed for 2 years at $16.2 million, provides a steady presence in the paint. LaRavia, brought in for $12 million over 2 years, fills a crucial depth role, and Smart, on a 2-year, $11 million contract, adds toughness and defensive leadership. With so much money invested, the Lakers are clearly signaling that they are in win-now mode. But if Doncic's injury proves to be serious, all of these moves and all of this spending could suddenly mean nothing, and this is where the two storylines collide in dramatic fashion. On one hand, the Lakers are being linked to a bold trade that could pair Doncic with Giannis Antetokounmpo, forming a duo that could dominate the NBA for years. On the other hand, they're left holding their breath, praying that Doncic's injury isn't the kind of setback that derails everything before the season even begins. It's a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in basketball. One moment, you're dreaming of building the next super team, and the next you're terrified about whether your star player can even stay on the floor. The tension in Los Angeles right now is unlike anything we've seen in years, and it sets the stage for a season that could either end in glory or heartbreak. So here's the question for you, Laker Nation. Would you take the risk and trade away LeBron to bring Giannis to Los Angeles, even if it means sacrificing your future draft picks? Or would you rather stick with LeBron, trust Doncic, and hope this core can stay healthy enough to chase a title together? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation going. And hey, if you love getting the latest Lakers news with this level of detail and energy, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update. Because trust me, this season is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic in Lakers history, and you're not going to want to miss what happens next.